Hello, my name is Evgenij Pisetsky. So you see we're working in an agile company in iterative process, so we already improved to 3.9 seconds from 4.2 between the day I submitted this presentation. And today I will share with you my experience in building a brand, or to be more precise, doing the first step in the long process of building a brand, to accelerate from 0 to 100. And this is how it feels to build it in 1 year. It's like accelerating from 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds. But first I would like to understand the level of car expertise in this room. Let's play a small game. I will put on sound of engine and you will need to get the brand. Ready? That's an easy one.
It's a BMW.
Exactly. What BMW? No, but it's already very good. It's BMW M6. By the way, this is how you can get from 0 to 100 in 3.9 seconds. Next one. That is my favorite. No? No? Any other ideas? No? Okay, it's Aston Martin. It was not easy. And the last one, your last chance, guys. Mercedes. Tesla, a good one. All very, very near. Any other ideas? It's a small brother of Tesla, actually. It's a Bosch drill driver. I was working for Bosch previously. Okay, so car expertise. You see we all have different levels here, but how much car expertise is needed to buy a car? This is one of the questions that we ask ourselves at Car4U every day. Who knows Car4U, by the way, here? Okay, thanks Car4U team for supporting. Who already used Car4U to buy a car or to search for a car? Wow. Okay, even. So for the rest, I'll tell you very quickly what is Car4U. Car4U is a buyer-focused platform. So we provide buyers information, technology, expertise to make an informed decision about car buying process. What exactly this information and technology is, for example, price check. It's cut unfortunately a little bit, but it shows you how good or less good is the price of a particular car. Money back guarantee. We give you money back, and just think about it. We give you money back if the car you buy on Car4U has a defect within the first 30 days. This is valid for every car with guarantee logo on the platform. Unique on the Swiss market. 360 view from inside and outside, and need assessment for those who don't know exactly which car to buy. And just imagine, exactly 1 year ago, on this particular day 1 year ago, we had nothing. No single line of code, no single line of marketing strategy, no customers, nothing. And now we have a fully functional platform. So today I will try to show you what decisions and steps shaped the look and feel of the Car4U brand as it is today. Obviously I was not developing it alone. It would not be possible. I had a lot of help from the whole team, but also from the whole media team. And I'm just having the honor to present it to you today. And don't forget, this is only my experience that I would like to share. This is not the truth in the last instance. To build a marketing strategy, you need to answer two big questions. What value are you providing to whom? And what is your action plan? So how do you want to deliver this value proposition, or the message about this value proposition? These two big questions consist of many small questions you need to answer, and this is how we approach it. We started with the segmentation. We wanted to understand the market we're working on. With the current version of the product, with car classified platform, we are in the business of online selling and buying cars. In this business, on this market, we have different players. And as I said, we are focused on buyers. The most of the feature we provide are focused on buyers. So from now on, today, we will talk about private buyer segment. we looked at this segment closer in the first phase of the development, and very important here is the motor data over hunches. We tried to make all the learnings and decisions based on some data that we could find. To gather the data, we conducted the marketing research. Thanks to Tamedia, it was very pragmatic and not very expensive marketing research with Tamedia panel and Tamedia market research team. And we found that the 5 million Swiss people who could potentially buy a car are interested more or less in the car buying at this particular moment. Is any one of you in the car buying process right now or want to buy a car in the next 12 months? Raise your hand. Next 12 months? Okay, so you're probably not very representative for the Swiss market because our research showed that 20% have active car buying decision or in the process of car buying decision, and the rest is potential. So if they're not looking for a car today, average Swiss citizen looks for a car every 5 to 6 years. So they will be in the active segment very soon. This active segment, to understand the car buying behavior of this active segment, we asked some questions about the pains in the car buying process. So what is difficult for them during the car buying process? About the drivers to use online platforms. So what is the motivation to look for a car online and not just go to the next best dealer? And what are the barriers? What are the difficulties for online platform usage? And we found out that the biggest pain for the whole active segment is trust. They don't trust the dealer a lot. They think they can rip them off because the information is asymmetric and the dealer has the whole information, the buyer has no information at all, only what dealer tells him. Another pain point is difficulty to understand how important is one another criteria. So the most of them don't know, or the most of us probably don't know, is 100 horsepower good or bad, or do I need 340 or whatever. Talking about online platforms, they like to use online platforms because you have a big selection of cars there and it's easy to use 24/7, filter functions, etc. But on the online platforms, you have no guidance, and we have also some trust and insecurity issues. You don't know if the car is described honestly, etc. This means with our strategy, we need to somehow address these needs and deliver on trust, guidance, but also on selection and functionality as a basic. This 20% of actives are also not exactly the same. So we try to understand what different types we have inside this active segment. And again, not based on demographic criteria, not based on age or gender or whatever place they live in Switzerland, but based on the behavioral criteria and on the pains, drivers, and barriers during the car buying process. We, using statistically valid method, divided them in 4 groups, which have different pains. And you see that not everyone who wants to buy a car is a car expert. Not everyone who wants to buy a car is interested in cars. So probably talking to them in car magazines and with test drive videos, it's not always the only good idea. That was a little bit, not surprising, but it was like enlightening result of this study. And now we had to make our first big decision. Do we want to approach all of them at once? Or do we need to focus on one of these segments? Do we want to split our resources, or do we want to focus? And if we would have a little bit more time, I would do it interactive, but as we don't have time, I will just tell you what happened. We focused on the 2 segments. Young car amateurs, mainly female, no car expertise at all. Buying a car is a problem they need to solve. And mature car buyers, they focused on used cars, and their car expertise is also not so high. So you would probably ask me, like, young girls, old boys, what they have in common, why do you want to focus on them together? What they have in common is this behavior during the car buying process. This is how we defined that they're relevant. And also the features that I showed you before, they serve needs of these two segments much more than of two others. That's why we decided to approach others later. So now knowing the customer needs, we could start with the positioning. Only one thing is missing is understanding what is competition doing. And we also included some questions about our competitors in the questionnaire I mentioned before. And here we need to remember that we are talking not about features. In marketing, we are not analyzing what features they provide, but what values they provide and what values are perceived by the customers, because your customer's perception is your reality as the company. Yeah, our main competitor showed strong perception of wide selection, vast selection, and good functionality, which is considered as a basics. So we cannot differentiate on these; they're already strong in it. But they were less good in factors trust, beauty, sympathy, and sweetness also. So these are points where we can make difference. Yeah. There are many different frameworks how you can put your positioning together. We use the POPs framework, which means POPs are points of parity. So this is what you need to provide to be relevant at all, but you cannot differentiate yourself only with this. And this is more where product need to deliver. So just basic functionality. And then points of differentiation. Pods are the points where you can make difference to your competitor and give a reason to go to your platform and not to another platform. And here we also divided them in main and secondary points of difference, which are trust and help and guidance as main points, and modern, Swiss, and appealing as secondary points of differentiation. So now understanding the market, having the positioning, we need to deliver this information to our target audience. So make them aware of our positioning and of our existence at all, because we are a new platform at this moment. So we go to the action plan decision. And to create an action plan, we need to first understand what are the goals of these actions. Where do we go? What do we want to achieve? The main goals at the beginning are awareness, make people aware of us and our value proposition. But only make them aware is not enough. We want them to change behavior and to start using our product instead of competitors' product. And then we also want them to contact dealers to generate leads and contacts to basically get even closer to buying a car, because this is a core business of a car classified platform, providing contact from buyers to dealers. Based on this positioning and for our two defined target groups, we came up with a creative idea of the campaign, so created packaging for this campaign. So you remember our target group is not interested in cars. So we focused not on the cars, not on showing cars, but on showing people in the cars, showing their car life with an idea, whatever car life you will have, whatever life you will have in your car, you'll find the right car for it on Car For You. And we had no hard focus on features, not only because we sell values but not features, but also because in agile organization you don't know what features you will launch in 3 months, and you need these 3 months to produce the campaign, so you need to keep it flexible as possible. We had 2 stories for 2 target groups, and we used a soundtrack, the famous song from 80s from La Bionda, One For Me, One For You. So let's have a look on 2 versions of the spots. We have many different versions, but these are
Find's Auto, das zu deinem Leben passt. Auf carforyou.ch.
For young car amateurs and for mature car buyers.
Find's Auto, das zu deinem Leben passt. Auf carforyou.ch.
So, this was the creative core of the campaign. We needed this emotional video to involve people, to make them like remember, to activate them, basically, on the emotional level. And then we defined all other channels we want to use, and each channel serves a particular goal. You remember our 3 goals, and we have channels that fit for the branding better, like TV and online video, where you can only mostly deliver simple emotional message. There is a new platform for cars, Car for You, and other channels where you can, with retargeting and other techniques, create additional contacts and deliver also additional messages to people who are already aware of our platform and find it relevant. Even after everything was defined, we questioned important decisions 2, 3, and 4 times to make sure we're making the right decision on the critical points. Like, for example, should we use TV as a channel? It's expensive. The biggest part of our target group is very young, and actually we think they don't watch TV. But as I mentioned previously, we always prefer data or hunches, and we try to find the data with many different researchers to understand if they're really not interested in TV. And we found out that 80% of our target group can still be covered by TV. That this trend of time-shifted viewing is still a trend, so everyone is talking about it, but in fact only 20% is watch time-shifted. So TV is this year, so we're talking about the campaign for 2019, not about like in 5 years, is still very relevant. So we decided to go with the TV campaign, so to deliver this videos on TV, not only in online video. Another big question was, is our product good enough? When is the product good enough to start the big campaign? We aimed for the campaign in May, and then as it was getting closer, we were getting nervous and thinking like, wow, is it really good enough? Can we show it to the people? To answer this question, we tried to answer another question. What exactly is good enough for us? And to answer this question, we defined a list with minimum requirements. We defined it very specific, so we can also measure and understand where we are. We tracked it every week, and we set a date. By this date, we need on this date we decided if we want to go live with this campaign and start spending money on marketing if the product is good enough. The most of criteria were achieved by the date set, and the campaign went live on the 29th of April. Now, 2 months later, we already see first results of the campaign, but we all understand this is only first step in the long process of iterations and long process of building the brand in the mind of target audience. So we need to iterate and learn and improve. And then we'll need to do our next acceleration from 100 to 120, which, as you know, is the maximum allowed speed in Switzerland. So, key takeaways from my side. I hope you will see it. One thing is know your market, target group, and competition. Understand it before you start to plan anything. Ask yourself the right questions. Be very specific and precise on asking this question. Always prefer data over gut feeling. And sell value, not feature. As I said, your customer's perception is your reality. Wow, I was quicker than in 3 times when I did this exercise at home. And now it's time for questions. Otherwise, it's time for beer.